do I dare call this a public service announcement? I don't know. I had a friend keeper, friend finder, what do you call these things? On my computer, a funny little program I have on my Facebook. It was a friend tracker, you know, who leaves you, and, you know, do you really want to get back with this person if they leave you, that kind of shit. It's part of a social fixer program. It ain't bad, but every once in a while when you leave, or someone leaves, you know, 9 out of 10 times it's a Facebook glitch or some bullshit with Facebook. So I looked at the person's wall. Well, they're from Italy, and everything's in Italian. And so I saw a picture. It was kind of weird. It looked like a Rin Tin Tin kind of photo, and then you see a dead German Shepherd on the next one after it. So I decided to copy and paste and go to Google Translator. And it was a boo-hoo thing. And I've had a lot of boo-hoo things before. Not even on this video channel I talk about the boo-hoo stuff. But it talked about, in a nutshell, how dogs are being poisoned and that kind of thing. Whether it be an act of pest control or just animal cruelty, it's being done, you know. So this person who's in Italy had this problem and posted it up, and I thought, you know, something to write about or talk about. In this particular case, I'm equally guilty of something in retrospect. Meaning, if you have a pet and it goes outside, you know, and you let it go outside, or don't make the healthy effort bringing it back inside, you're going to have a rude awakening. Someone's going to poison your animal. Someone's going to shoot your animal. Someone's going to stick their animal on your animal. That kind of thing. What surprises me is what surprises them. Shit happens. A celebrity, forget her name. Not quite bright. I think it was, oh shit, country singer girl, blonde hair, did Daisy Duke on Dukes of Hazzard. She was walking her little dog. I mean, I'm talking little dog, and a coyote came out of the woods, snatched it, and off it went. You know, yiping little dog and all. And of course, she's out putting rewards on for her fucking dog, who's now, you know, a big pile of shit because the coyote ate it. But people act surprised. People lose perspective if you're going to have an animal in your life, a familiar in your life, whatever you want to call it. Nature is nature. If you're going to fight it, it will fight you back, or it will educate you quick. So, I think I saw footage on YouTube. A Chihuahua or a mini pin, I think it was a Chihuahua, oh, one of them, a small damn dog, was out in someone's backyard tied up. And, so, long story short, a coyote did come out of the woods, grab it, run off with it, but thankfully with the little dog it was tied off, and literally when the leash tightened, it snapped the back end of the coyote forward, releasing the little dog. Being in shock, oh, actually not in shock, but I think the family Rottweiler that wasn't tied down took off after the damn thing and chased off the coyote. Of course, the little dog, being a little chewed up, was still alive, but you know, a little nerve-wracked too. So what's the whole point of all this? Well, you're going to have nature telling you it's going to, you know, fuck up your domestic animal, or are you going to have your neighbor secretly poisoning your animal? If you don't become a friend or chaperone to your animal, it will happen to you. You will have no animal. I had it's going to sound funny, I have 3 cats, or had 3 cats. And for a treat, I'll let them outside. Now, I wouldn't just let them outside and that's it. I'll let them on my driveway. And I have about a 12-car driveway. And I would walk out with them, and they'll walk around within 20 feet. And I might chase them up and down the driveway. They'll chase each other, and, you know, fun time. Then I'll open the door, call them back in. Sometimes with a little bit more influence than a call. Crack of a whip, maybe. But they'll go inside the house. The 2 boys, the girl would stay in the house. She'll watch the boys, but she wouldn't go out. Unless I was right close to the door, then she'll come out and sit next to me. So the boys would be out running around. Which is kind of cool, because I don't like clipping their toenails or their claws. So when them running around actually wears down their claws. It's pretty cool, because I have a concrete driveway. Well, the tiger stripe I had, he really liked the outdoors. I mean, he would yell at me to, you know, I want to go out, take me with you. And no, but from time to time I would, but as a whole, you know, collective of things. And then, well, one day the windows were open, the screens were shut, and I heard my cat meow. And I realized, I don't let him out. How did he get out? And he was on, like, well, I have 2 connected porches on the house. And he went off, he busted out the screen and went to the corner of the house where the two were. And he just simply hopped off from one top of a shed to the other top of the shed. And the other shed's close to underneath my window, and he meowed at me. So I got dressed, went outside, and he wasn't there. This is about 2 years ago. Mind you, I have very large cats. I always find cats, and somehow they always seem to be not in the petite size of cat. It's either that or we just eat healthy in my house. Could be both. So, long story short, he made his way outside. So I took it for I accept the fact, you know, he's outside. He could be dead. He could be dog food, cat food. He could be anything. Because in Florida, we have birds that come down and collect shit. You know, so predation is a fact of life down here. I mean, literally a block away, I saw a red fox hunting something small, like a mouse or something like that, or a rat, in a vacant lot. So there's a lot of critters down here in Florida. Not to mention your gators, and you know. But literally, they'll take a sign. When he disappeared, I took a real big symbology or omen sign when I had 3 turkey vultures decided to land in my yard. You know, that's when I really got paranoid, because I'm thinking somewhere up in a tree is my dead cat. You know, so you're thinking all these morbid thoughts. Mine just 2 years ago. You know, so I went off, and maybe about 6 weeks ago, I'm looking around, and I saw in the shadows, you know, because the sun went down, so the atmosphere is all blue, a very large cat walking by. And it could be just coincidence that there's another big cat nearby or whatever, but long story short, more than likely be my cat. And he was a big boy, you know, 18 to 24 inches long. I mean, big cat. So when you see something like that, you know, more than likely it's him. And so, according to the animal control, when I first went there for the first 6 months after he left, they said cats take longer to catch, and they have a longer survivability rate because they're natural born predators, unlike your canine that will take forever to, you know, they'll come up to a stranger looking for food before they start hunting for food. You know, a cat would just hunt. You know, cats have that funny way of saying, fuck you, I'll just do my own shit anyways, with or without you. So, yeah, so I lost another cat. And, you know, so I'm down to 2 cats. Maybe another one if he keeps bothering me. So, anyways, if you're going to take responsibility, which I should know, right? Do it. But when you have a tragedy where you let your dog or cat out, and they come back and they're poisoned or shot with a BB gun or chewed up by another animal, you have to understand, either nature will take care of your animal for you, or you can take care of your animal for you. Responsibility should be for the responsible. You know, I have to take this very pragmatic approach and very primal approach because, you know, if you live out in the woods, it'd be more prevalent. So before people get all mushy and gushy over some sad animal posts of animal abuse or bad things happen, the animals are, you know, are left outside, well, take in consideration what it is that you're viewing, and if you're responsible for your own animal, then there's your point, there's your focal point. You did your job to protect yours. You know, posting these things up as a cause is kind of silly. As awareness, I understand, but it never tells people be responsible for your own shit, or simply put, wipe your own ass. And meanwhile, you get people out there who have animals who've been beaten or victimized of torture or some bullshit, and they want to point the finger. How did the animal get out? Why was the animal let out? I'm not saying it won't happen to another animal, but definitely the most important thing that would happen is it won't happen to yours. So, down to 2 cats from 3. And, you know, like I said, periodically I think I do see my other one. And I'm not too worried about him if he lasted this long. But, you know, some animals have a call of the wild. Don't ignore the call. It's being selfish. I wouldn't let him out, technically, either. I'm selfish. But, you know, shit happened. He let himself out. And that's, you know, that's all I could do was to find him. But anyways, before I ramble further, that's my 2 cents. If you're going to be responsible for your animal, be so, or do so. If you want to look for a villain, look at the mirror first. Because, why did your animal, you know, get hurt in the first place? Who let them out in the first place? Where were they? You know, if they're going to be technically your kids, well, treat them like your kids. I mean, what happens if your kid comes home beaten up, bruised, or poisoned, or shot? Who are you going to blame? Yourself. But if your pet comes in the same manner, who are you going to blame? Those other people. Food for thought. See ya.